When it comes down to goal setting, there are some do's and then there are some don'ts. And I want to make sure that in today's episode, you understand what you should be doing when it comes to having better success at reaching your goals. So make sure to pay close attention because I'm going to be going over 3 tips to really help you when it comes to reaching your goals, but also one special exercise that we're going to go over at the end that's really going to help you have better success. Now hear me out. It is very important that you have goals because if you don't, you can end up pretty much wherever and whenever. Think about it like this. Here's a specific goal. I want to lose 30 pounds of body fat in the next 90 days versus something that is like, I want to lose weight. Well, okay, you can lose 2 pounds in the next 2 years. Is that actually going to make you feel accomplished, when you have success at doing that? Versus something very specific like losing 30 pounds in the next 90 days. Goals are going to make you feel more ambitious. Goals are going to help you step outside your comfort zone. Goals are also going to help you when it comes to having more confidence. Let's face the facts. If let's just say you're somebody that has a huge track record of all these wins and of all these goals, it's very easy to look back and say, man, you know what? I'm a winner. I have a winner's mindset. Look at everything that I've been through and all these goals that I were able to have success with. That's going to give you that upper edge. That's going to give you the chip on your shoulder. That's going to give you that boost and that confidence when it comes to reaching your next goal. But having goals is also going to help you when it comes to building your character, when it comes to having perseverance and fighting through the hard times. No path that you take is ever going to be an easy one. So it's like when you're faced with the challenges, when you're faced with the adversity, having your goals, focusing on them, and also having that deep-rooted why, that's going to help you fight through those hard times rather than just throwing in the towel and quitting. Everybody has goals, but why is it that not everybody is successful when it comes to reaching them? Now, this is where I really want you to pay close attention. It's not focusing on the goals. A lot of people out there, they focus way too much on the goals and they're obsessed with the goals. They put these goals on a pedestal and what happens? It eventually falls off and ends up collapsing and you don't ever have success. So if you're looking to actually reach your goals, this is what I want you to do. It requires a mindset shift, but hear me out. We're going to go over 3 specific tips to really help you out with this. I want you to focus more on the process, not the goals. The process is your daily habits. The process is the routine. The process is what are you doing day in and day out that's in alignment with your goals. Now here are 3 reasons why it's so important to focus on the process rather than the goals. For starters, and I already mentioned this before, it takes it off the pedestal. Think about it. If you have your goals up on this pedestal and you're kind of obsessed with it and it's kind of like you're chasing, all you're doing is making your goals kind of run away. All you're doing is giving these goals such an importance, it's not going to help you attract it. And I want to tell you a little story on how this is actually 100% true and accurate. So way back in the day, my very first girlfriend, okay? Before we actually started dating, she wanted nothing to do with me at all. I remember for 2 straight years, I would try my best to get her number, try my best to, grab her attention, do whatever, anything I could to just try to get her on a date, try to get her number, anything like that. And I was chasing, and she wanted nothing to do with me at all. It wasn't until I stopped chasing her. It wasn't until I literally just stopped caring at all about her. I would see her out and about at different, social events and whatnot, and I paid her no attention. And guess what? A few short months after that, she actually asked me for my number, and then we started dating. And that's how she became my first girlfriend, was because I stopped chasing her. Instead, I started focusing on dude, it doesn't matter if she's in your life or not. Who cares? She wants nothing to do with you. Okay, cool. So what can I do instead? I can focus on myself. And that's exactly what I started to do. And she, once again, started to become more attracted to me. So when it comes to your goals, don't chase them. Because all you're going to do is put them up on a pedestal and you're going to be overly obsessed with them. But what are you doing? You're pouring out this vibration of I want, rather than the confidence of attracting it to you. And the second reason why it's so important to focus on the process rather than the goals is because it's so much easier to have success. Hear me out. If let's just say, your goal is to lose 30 pounds in the next 90 days. Somebody out there might be looking for ways to just cut corners just because we live in Amazon type prime world, right? Where it's like we can get anything we want tomorrow. Fast food is right there down the street, right? There's food in our groceries. It doesn't require a lot of work. It doesn't require a lot of effort. Well, hey, This is why I love working so much on my physical body, because you need to take action. You really do. You can't really cut corners. And if you do, it just ends up biting you in the butt. So for example, if let's say I want to lose 30 pounds in the next 90 days, and I'm looking for some ways to just cut corners. So maybe I'm cutting out my carbohydrates, not knowing that I'm just cutting out, water weights, not actually fat loss. If let's say I'm eating next to nothing, doing all this endless amounts of cardio and training that isn't really sustainable for me, sure, maybe I can lose the 30 pounds before 90 days, but what's the point if I end up falling off the wagon and regaining the weight right back? So when it comes down to focusing on the process rather than goals, we can have more clarity, but also more confidence knowing that, hey, as long as we follow through each and every day and do these habits, check the boxes almost, we're going to have a greater, easier time when it comes to having success at reaching our goals. And the third and final reason why it's so important to focus more on the process rather than the goals is because it makes it a lot easier to get right back on track. I mean, let's face it, you're going to be faced with adversity. You're going to be faced with curveballs. And there's going to be plenty of times where you fall off track with your diet. You fall off track with your training routine. You fall off track with just, hey, constantly feeding the bad wolf over and over again and making bad decisions. It's going to happen. Stress, life, drama, anxiety, worry, doubt. It happens. It takes you off your course. It takes you off your routine. But hear me out. Rather than putting the goals up on a pedestal and focusing on the goals, if you can just say, okay, what can I do today? Starting fresh, brushing off the dust from where I was yesterday and falling off the wagon, what can I do today? It makes it so much easier. Because maybe your daily habits is, getting more steps in, or, a push-up goal, or, hitting your protein, something like that. It makes it a lot easier to focus on that and just say, hey, what can I do today? I don't need to worry about winning this week. I don't need to worry about winning this month. I don't need to be worried about winning the next 6 months. What can I do to win today? And how do I win today? Well, it requires me by taking action and just deciding to give myself grace from everything that happened in the past, but also, hey, deciding that I just need to focus on these habits. And that's it. If we can do that and be 1% better than who we were yesterday, that's how we're going to start winning. And if we can just repeat that, rinse and repeat, I promise you, you're going to be on the right track for having success at reaching your goals. Now, I mentioned earlier that there was one specific exercise that you can do that would really make your life a lot easier when it comes to having success at reaching your goals, and it is simply this. 5 questions. Pause this video, go grab a pen, go grab a piece of paper, and write these down. And really spend time thinking about this. Because what I want you to do is simply map out who is that 2.0 version of yourself that you're trying to become, and then reverse engineer it. That's it. So here are the 5 questions. For starters, how do they look? If let's just say your goal is to lose weight, remember, it's a very broad goal, not specific. But if let's say your goal is to get to 10% body fat, that has a certain appearance to it. Maybe that's 6-pack abs, chiseled chest, you got veins in your biceps, whatever the case may be, map that out and try to get as specific as possible. The second question is, how do they feel? Maybe they're more confident, maybe they're more proud of how they look and feel in the mirror. Write that out. And remember, try your best to get as specific as possible. The third question is, what are their daily habits? What is their routine? What are they doing each and every day? So once again, if let's say your goal is to lose 30 pounds and get, 6-pack abs, what are they doing each and every day? Maybe that's like some daily ab circuits. Maybe that is some push-ups. Maybe that is getting, 10,000 steps a day and hitting their protein goal and sticking within their calorie range. What are they doing? Maybe they're also working on their mindset. Maybe they're meditating. Maybe they're visualizing. Maybe they're focused on gratitude. Whatever the case may be, try to map that out and get as specific as possible. The fourth question is, how are they overcoming challenges? And something to really kind of help you out is just think about your self-limiting beliefs now. When life throws you challenges, when life throws you curveballs now, are you responding and reacting just off emotions, or are you taking a step back and kind of observing the picture? Are you not letting your emotions kind of take over? And the last question is, how are they helping out others? I think it's amazing when it comes to having success at reaching your goals. But if you're able to tie that goal into a deep-rooted why that also involves other people, it's going to help you out tremendously through the hard times, especially when life is throwing you these curveballs, which they will. So if let's say like, your goal is to lose 30 pounds. And once again, get down to 10% body fat, have six-pack abs because maybe you want to have more confidence, maybe you want to feel more proud of yourself, and you know your daily habits, and you also know your mindset when it comes to overcoming challenges and adversity. Well, now what you need to do is answer this last question. How is that also helping out others? Is that meaning that you're being a better role model for maybe your family? Does that mean you're being a better inspiration for your coworkers or your friends, whatever the case may be? What can you do to also help out others? And when you have this all written out, all you need to do is reverse engineer that and just say, okay, what can I start doing today? Not tomorrow, but actually today, that's in alignment with this 2.0 version of myself that I'm trying to become. So maybe that's once again a step outside your comfort zone, but hey, there is no growth inside the comfort zone. So maybe those actions that you need to start doing today that's in alignment with your goals, it's in alignment with that 2.0 version of yourself, maybe that's gonna push you. But maybe that's exactly what you need, is that push that's gonna help you be more in alignment with your goals. And lastly, always remember this, trust the process, have some faith. If you're going through challenges, if you're going through adversity, look at it as a blessing in disguise because it means that you're on the right path. That version that you are today, that 1.0 version of yourself, well, guess what? It's kind of like a snake shedding its skin or a, caterpillar going through metamorphosis and becoming a butterfly. Maybe you just need to step outside your comfort zone. Maybe there's some self-limiting beliefs of you today that needs to die in order for you to become the best version of yourself, in order for you to become that 2.0 version of yourself. So when you're faced with the adversity, when you're faced with the challenges, instead of saying like, why me? Instead of saying, no, try me. I got this. I know I'm on the right path because it's getting hard. Why do you think that so many people out there struggle? They give up way too soon. They throw in the towel and they quit. You're not a quitter. Trust the process. And I promise you this, if you have the right mindset, you focus on the daily actions each and every day that's in alignment with your goals, you will have success. I really hope that you guys got a lot of value from today's video. If you did, definitely give it a thumbs up and hear me out. I want you to drop a comment down below letting me know, what are you doing today? What are the action steps that you are doing today that's in alignment with that 2.0 version of yourself that you're trying to become? Is that, having more protein in your diet? Is that doing more workouts? Is that getting more steps in? Whatever the case may be, I would love to know your feedback. And lastly, if you have not yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, I would greatly appreciate that if you did. As always, guys, this has been Coach Joe with Heartletics.com, and I will talk to you in the next episode. Peace out, Girl Scouts.